Hey everyone, Happy New Year's. Hope you have a great festive period. I certainly had a good time. This is my first video for the year, and we're going to go through some of the loot, some of the maybe upcoming projects, some shout outs, all sorts of stuff. So let's get to the table and have a look see. Alright, so let's get into Christmas loot. Just a caveat, if you hear any sort of background droning noise, that's the printer working hard while I'm hardly working. Okay, so obviously with the Christmas loot, you might get a sort of inclination as well as to what sort of projects I've been working on and currently what I'm finishing off. So first off, from my youngest son, I got Natal Native Contingent from Warlord Games. This box is half empty already, as I've already started working on it. I've been doing the Anglo-Zulu War for the last couple of months, and I've been wanting to add some different variations to the British Army, you know, with some tribal infantry to add some extra bodies to it. We've been using the Men Who Would Be Kings rules. There is rumors that there might be a Bolt Action Boer War supplement, which would be pretty cool. That can, you know, follow on from this. But anyway, yep, so Natal Native Contingent from my youngest son. I've already started working on these as I wanted to get them done for some battle reports. So that was that. This is not what I got, but I'm going to show you this as my friend Johnny B. He got me 5 sprues of the command sprue from this box set. You can order the sprues separately from Perry Miniatures. I can't show you the sprues because I've already started working on them too. What's really cool about these, or the command sprues that he got me, was that obviously they come with 2 casualty figures. And if you've been following this channel for any amount of time, you know I love my gubbins, and casualty figures are awesome. So that's another 10 casualty figures I can use in battle reports. As well as the command sprue comes with the holstered sort of shoulder rifle. I made, when I was building this box set, I think you come with 2 command sprues, so I made 2 guys marching. And obviously with the 5 extra sprues, I made another 6 models marching along the line. One of them is obviously the commander, so he doesn't have his shoulder holstered, but he was, so, you know, it worked. So that's really cool. And then of course the sprues come with lots of extra gubbins, hats, arms, weapons, things so I can use in other miniatures. So more British stuff for my Anglo-Zulu War, and that inspired me obviously to get the Natal Native Contingent built and also the British Infantry build, but I built up another unit of Zulus to keep that momentum going. On that line, my friend Martin, me, the Congo rule set from Studio Tomahawk. Obviously comes with all the components, the tokens and cards and what have you. I've only played this game once before, it was a few years back, with my friend Tony, and I really enjoyed it. It was a good, fun, interesting rule set, and considering I'm doing sort of African-based stuff anyway, I couldn't resist. He asked me what he could get, or at least he asked my other half what he could get, and she suggested this, and I'm very happy. So I've got the Congo rule set, and I want to get the expansion as well for the campaign. But to start with, I'm going to get some figures to build up my explorers and get some, what are they called? The dudes carrying the stuff. I've forgotten the name now. It's just slipped my head. Doesn't matter. You get what I mean. So that is another game potentially coming to the channel. And then while we're talking about that, I didn't get this for Christmas, but this came in a War Games Illustrated a while back. Death in the Dark Continent by North Star Games. This is obviously the light version. They came free with the War Games Illustrated. Now I'm starting to think I might have a look at this and maybe get this a go as well. Starting to build up a rather large collection of African figures and, you know, the British. So this could be the future as well. Just thought I'd throw that in there to show you guys. So while we're on that, my eldest son got me this. It's a Conflict 47 German Spinamech. I've already got an American Bolt Action Army, and I've not finished, like, I've got quite a large amount of it, but I've not finished painting the whole collection, if you know what I mean. But I've got enough to play games and stuff. The one thing with Bolt Action is that obviously you can do, like, say, allies versus allies and call it a training mission or whatever. But most of the people I know have British or American, armies, and then of course, German armies are the general opponent. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to make a Conflict 47 army and kind of make it so that I can have separated in two. So one would be the German part for bolt action, but the other side would you just add by adding things like the spinner mech. And I didn't bring it out now, but I didn't get it for Christmas. I got it a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago, in fact. Is the new War Games Atlantic? It's not new. It's not really new. It's they got it from Dreamforge Games, which is the Eisenken Stormtroopers. They make great sort of German heavy troopers. So there you go. That's the start of a new project, Conflict 47. I do have the rulebook as well. Just never got around to using it. So that's a project coming in the future. And then this I got from my friend Dave. This is the Halfling General on Winged Arrowlers. I'm going to be using it as a Halfling General on Pegasus, although it is actually a dog with wings, which is kind of funny. But I've got a new Halfling army in the works, which is going to be led by this fella. I'm not going to go into too much of what the army is going to look like, because I still need to get a few parts to make the army. And it's going to be very heavily themed, as I like my armies to be. But this is going to be for fantasy, Dragon Rampant, Age of Fantasy, those type of things. So another Halfling army on the way to go with my Undead Halflings and my Shield Maiden Halflings. And then this is going to be a little weird. But my lovely other half knew how much I love these stuff. And we've obviously been doing a lot of 3D printing lately. So she backed me the Sid Kickstarter for those lovely castles and obviously some Highland miniatures. These don't come out until March, I think. You don't get the files till March. So that's why I've got this little printout. But it was really cool. I love the look of this. It's going to be a great project when it comes out in March. I'm already doing sort of the Third Crusade with the Templars, and I haven't started any Saracen armies yet, but that is in the works that I wanted to do. I've got the Lion Rampant Crusader States book. I've got the Deus Vault skirmish rules. All of those are still hopefully in the pipeline for this year to get some games on the table. But that'll be cool to add to that as and then she got me this as well just because it was awesome and really cheap if you got a printer. This is from Loot Studios, and this was I think it was the set was called The Fall of Panda something or whatever. I can't remember. But it's basically another castle. This is a more generic medieval style castle. It comes with 2 huge dragons and then loads of siege equipment. You've got catapults, siege engines, all that sort of stuff, which will be going great with that Kickstarter stuff, even though they've unlocked some of this stuff as well. Just more variation, isn't it? And it looks great. I'm really excited to get some of this to the table. And yes, so that is my loot. That is some of the upcoming projects. I thought it was quite an interesting bunch of stuff here. Just to mention a couple of projects that weren't related to Christmas presents. Not kinda, I guess. Well, depends on how you look at it. But will be coming up in the next few months, I guess, is Kings of War from Mantic Games. I don't know. You might have seen some of the sort of undead army I worked on the end, towards the end of Christmas. I really had a lot of fun doing that. I need to do a second army for that, and then do some battle reports. Nothing major. I enjoyed doing that Kings of War sort of multi-based army. It was fun, and the 3D printing allowed me to just print out a load of stuff. But it also, because I have those figures already, and I can just print out some more, I thought I'd do Kings of War Vanguard. So those 2 projects that I'm working on for now, along with my Anglo-Zulu War and the various other things I just showed you. And then there are 1 or 2 other projects in the pipeline that I'm looking at, but I'm super scatterbrained. I just fly off the handle and go onto all sorts of stuff. And but I'm going to try and focus on these for the beginning of the year, but who knows what shiny things will take my interest as the year goes on. Alright, let's move on. I'm just going to put this over here before I knock it over. For other projects, I think I'm going to focus on these for the meantime. But I've always got tons of stuff I want to do. I've got so many rule sets that I want to try and play and show you guys on the channel. But in case I don't bring out stuff fast enough, I thought I'd do some shout outs for some channels that you could have a look at. They are smaller channels that are, do some interesting bits, and I thought I'd give them a shout out. If you can add them to your playlists and see what they like, there you go. So, first one is Crossing Obstacles Gaming. This is a fella from maybe Denmark, Norway, Scandinavian fella. He does weekly updates on what he's been doing from his painting queue. Recently, he's done a huge Stargrave Force, loads of cool stuff, all from North Star figures and Wargames Atlantic figures. Some fantastic stuff in there. I definitely recommend going to check it out. See what he puts out a video every Sunday of what he's painted that week. Some fantastic projects, definitely worth a look. Also, you can have a check for Studio Garou, and again, there'll be links in the description below, and if I can find some little pictures, I'll put them up here as well. But Studio Garou, he was doing the Saga 8-point challenge a little while last year. He's just put up a New Year's video of all his projects he's going to be doing for this year. Some really interesting projects there. Great looking gaming room as well, with a wall of cabinets of loads of figures in there. Very good stuff. He also puts out, he's going to be putting out sort of monthly and weekly painting project updates. As you can tell, I quite like those kind of videos. I love watching other people's projects and how they progress in their stuff. It's good inspiration, and it's motivation for me as well. Seeing other people enjoying and painting their hobby gets me to focus on some of my stuff. And then finally, another channel you can go check out, a little different to the first two. This is called Clash of Dice. They do battle reports, focused mainly on Dead Zone 3rd edition. But they just recently did a Kings of War battle report, and they did an Age of Sigmar battle report. And it's what I like about these battle reports. They're very similar to my battle reports in that it's not just picture based, where there's someone just talking over about the strategy and tactics they used and whatever. It's sort of live while they're playing. You can see the dice rolls and all that sort of stuff. So it's a lot of fun. Go check those out in the links below. Alright, so one last final thing to talk about. Okay, so you've seen my Christmas loot. You see my potential upcoming projects, and I've done some shoutouts. So the only thing left I got to talk about for this first video of 2022 is I started a Patreon account. Now, I'm not going to bang on about this. This was just something suggested to me, and I thought, there's no real downside to it. So the link is in below. If you're up for it, you can chuck some money that way. We've got two sort of level tiers. One is like basically the cost of a coffee, and then the other one is a little more expensive, but we're going to chuck in some stuff as well. It's just to help with the channel, to get some extra scenery and some more figures and stuff like that. People can vote on what games we want to see on the battle reports and stuff like that. It's just a little contribution to the channel. If you feel like it, it's not a big deal, and I'm not going to bang on about it. It's like now done. The link's there. Check it out if you want to. No big deal if you don't. I'm still going to be doing everything I can do. We obviously got a lot of commissions going on at the moment, so the painting will, for my own projects, will sort of flow as they go. I know that doesn't really make sense, but it's sort of, while I'm doing commissions as my primary painting goal, the other stuff I try and squeeze in between things, like as they're drying and stuff, and really what I'm motivated to paint, that's what gets priority. So at the moment I got the Zulus and the British stuff, as I'm quite enthused behind that, and also the Kings of War stuff, which I'm quite enthused by. But I'm easily led into other things as I get ideas all the time. Anyway, enough of me rambling. I hope you guys have all your wishes come true for this year, and I hope things flatten out so we can do gaming like we used to. But with that said, I'll see you guys on the battlefield. Cheerio.